welcome to Three Things at Three. You've got me and Kyle, and
Yay.
It's Monday, boom, 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 boom. All right, for those of you who are oldies but goodies, you know exactly what that meant. But if you're brand new to Three Things at Three,
means that we're buddies.
you might be going, what in the world are they doing? But we're glad you are here for Three Things at Three, where theme number one is something to smile about, theme number two is something to learn, and theme number three is something to discover. Let's go.
All right.
Three Things at Three. You've got Kyle and I today.
Yay.
We're so excited to be here, aren't we?
I'm so excited that I get to do this.
Yes. How was your weekend, everyone? Hope it was a good one. Kyle, how was yours?
Good.
Yeah?
Good.
Did you do anything exciting, fun,
No.
fantabulous?
Well, I sewed.
Hey.
I got lots of projects
I did
done.
too. I got a lot of projects done too. So, you know, it's starting to get a little cooler outside and it just gets you in the mood, doesn't it?
We got the fireplace going, but we will not turn that furnace on yet.
Not yet. You're holding out.
Yeah.
Julia is coming to us from Southern Florida.
Ooh.
Welcome, welcome. And Mindy is from Arizona. And we've got someone, I can't quite see her name, but she's from East Tennessee. So glad to have you all here with us.
Mary.
There we go, Mary Jo. All right, friends. Well, we are in for a super fun week. But before we get started, did you see the unveiling of Kimberbell's new product line this morning?
I missed it.
Oh,
I even
my
signed up and said
goodness.
I wanted to be a part of it, and I forgot.
And what happened? Life?
Yeah.
Life just happened?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. It does. Well, I was a few minutes late, but
everybody
I
knows?
did get to see it. Everybody now knows that part of the brand new product line for Kimberbell is needle punch. And what do you think?
I love it so much.
I know.
I even injured myself doing mine.
Oh, did you? But you've lived to tell the tale?
I did,
Okay,
and it's
good.
done.
And it's done. Hey, nice.
I should have brought it.
So Kyle was one of the 200 testers who
I feel
had
so
the
special.
opportunity to kind of test that out
Yeah.
and see how it was. And nothing but rave reviews, seriously.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
The stuff
I talked to
coming out so
somebody else
cute.
that got a needle punch
Yeah.
at a different place.
Yeah.
And you have to be careful of that yarn.
Absolutely. The
Yeah,
yarn,
the yarn makes a
the-
difference.
that tool is very, very important. So just so you know, as a heads up, it goes on sale November 8th, and we are one of the lucky shops who gets to carry it
Yay.
for its debut. So if you want to get in on those amazing projects, come to my girlfriend's quilt shop. November 8th is the date.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's get started by telling you what this week's theme is, shall we?
Okay,
All
I'm
right.
ready.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
And it's
my
very
favorites.
different from last week. Last week we had lots of fun and it was all about, you know, getting ready for the holidays and all the cookie inspiration. This week, we're changing things up in a completely different direction.
But that's how we all are. We're all over the place.
That's kind of very fitting, isn't it?
Yes.
Because what we're talking about this week is about you and the entire you. And that's what we like to say about this program. It's all about the physical and mental health for the quilter. And so, you know, these are the things that we're going to have some of the bigger maybe tougher discussions on, but try to throw in some fun with it too. We hope that you're looking forward to it. Plus, this week we're going to be talking about mindful sewing. And did you know there's a difference between mindless sewing and mindful?
I saw something about that.
Well, we're going to address that this week too, because there is a difference. And actually, there's a place for both.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. There's
Do
a
I have to
place
do
for-
something different?
It's a little different, the difference between mindful and mindless. And so I'm just really excited about sharing this topic, a very, very important topic, as we dive into mental health. So, are you ready, Kyle?
Absolutely.
Okay, so for theme number 1, all this week, we had an opportunity to interview one of my favorite people on the planet, Melissa Mason. And she's not only a quilter at the very heart of everything that she does. And many of you may recognize her because she used to be with us years ago as part of like one of the original club members. But she's also gone back to school and now she is a practicing licensed therapist. And so Allison and I, just a short time ago, had an opportunity to sit down with her in her office and be able to talk about what are the concerns that, you know, especially women are facing at this, you know, at this time. And what are some of the things that we can help ourselves in order to become better. And so I really hope you enjoy taking a deeper dive into this very, very important topic. I think one that's relevant to all of us. So today, let's get started with Melissa, and we'll spend just a few minutes with her sharing some of her best tips for how we can deal with anxiety. Hi everyone, Allison and I are here at Family Solutions Counseling in Cache Valley, Utah, and we are so excited because we're bringing on a special guest who's going to be with us all this week, Melissa Mason, who is a therapist here at Family Solutions. And some of you may also recognize her in the quilting world because not only is she an incredible therapist, but she is an amazing quilter herself and has helped us on some projects in the past, but never in this realm, Melissa.
Yeah, welcome to my other life.
Yes, exactly. I know. I was thinking the same thing. Like, there's another side of Melissa that we weren't aware of before. But it's great to be with you. And thank you so much for allowing us to come here to your offices and to talk to you about something that I think is really, really important and so crucial right now in the lives of so many men and women. And that is mental health. And so all this week, we wanted to kind of dive a little bit deeper into what are some of the mental health issues that, people seem to be facing more and more these days. And especially for those in our audience that are, perhaps quilters, they love to make things. I think there's some, of their own issues going on in their own lives that we might be able to address this week. So we appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, well, thanks for being here and thanks for highlighting this because, we're all quilters, which means we're all humans, right? And that means we all have mental health that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's functioning in a really good way and we're feeling good. But oftentimes it's not. And it affects people at every age. We hear a lot about teenagers, mental health issues, but actually it doesn't matter how old you are. Your mental health can take a dive or fluctuate throughout your life. And so it's really wonderful to focus on it and talk about some of the issues that people are facing.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
And I oftentimes think sometimes we don't realize we're dealing with mental health issues. We just know that something is just a little bit off.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to highlight and pinpoint some of these things because maybe there's something that we can easily fix or address and we just don't really know.
Yeah.
And if we don't have an easy solution, there's help out there, right?
Absolutely.
We're
yeah.
not alone.
No,
And
not at all. And there's so many different ways to help. So as quilters, we talk about our quilting toolboxes, right? Where we have all of our skills, our piecing skills and our cutting, without slicing off our fingers skills and things like that. In our mental health toolbox, there's a lot of tools in there that we can use too. So therapy or something like quilting or going out for a run or being out in nature, things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of different things that we can do.
All right. So let's start. And what would you say is probably the number one mental health issue that you see coming into your office on a daily basis?
A lot of anxiety.
Yes.
Yeah, and we've heard a lot about how it's increased since the pandemic.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're just starting to see kind of evidence-wise, data-wise, just the edges of what the pandemic has done for people's anxiety. But anecdotally, I mean, I'm sure you've seen it in your lives and the lives of your loved ones, right?
Absolutely.
Anxiety levels are through the roof, and it shows up for different people in different ways. So sometimes it'll show up as just anxiousness, right? Being worried, being nervous or on edge. Sometimes it shows up as anger. It'll show up as depression or perfectionism or frustration. So there's so many different ways it manifests that we might not initially name it as anxiety, but there's that kind of undercurrent always
I
going.
hear a lot with quilters sleeplessness. And I think that maybe anxiety shows up in sleeplessness, and we think, oh, maybe we just need to get up and do that project, and instead of address the relaxation part of it.
Right. And that's one of the first things we assess for, no matter what someone's coming in for. Sleep has such a huge effect on our lives, our well-being, mental, physical well-being. And so we always want to check on that. But that's definitely often, especially with creatives, when we have projects we want to do, it's the first thing to go, right?
Our mind is just going a million miles a minute.
Yeah.
And we can't turn it off.
And the middle of the night is when the house is quiet and you're like,
Right.
maybe I'll just finish this blog. And then the next thing you know.
That's right. Exactly.
It's 2 or 3, and the alarm's going off at 6.
And you
you're
pay
like,
for it, don't
right.
you?
You do pay for
Yeah,
it.
so it's just
Absolutely.
this perpetuating cycle. So we have to find those points of intervention where we can step in and say, okay, wait.
So what might be a tool that someone could just, implement right away if they're starting to feel that anxious feeling?
Yeah.
What do you recommend?
So it always sounds a little silly because it is the most basic human function, but breathing,
Yes.
breath work.
Yes.
I mean, what we see, study-wise, the evidence tells us that just taking a moment to breathe, it gets us out of kind of our panic state, our anxious state, where we start to get really escalated and we stop being able to regulate our emotions. If we can just stop and take a breath, that will activate our parasympathetic nervous system that kind of tells our brain, it's okay, you're fine, you don't need to panic, you are safe. And so our body starts to relax just with the simple act of taking a few breaths.
Okay, so when you say breathing, obviously,
Yeah.
We're talking deep breaths. We're talking,
Yeah. And it doesn't
several
have to
seconds.
be
Do you
either.
find yourself, I'm over here.
And
Let me breathe.
and sometimes it can make people more anxious, right? If you don't think about how to do it. So one of my favorite things, and your kids have probably learned this because they're teaching it in schools now, which is fantastic.
Just great, yeah.
Is called box breathing.
Okay.
And so basically you take a breath in for 4 seconds or 3. 4 might be long for some people. You hold it for 4 seconds. You release for 4 seconds. You wait 4 seconds. And then you start over. So in, hold, out, hold. For 4 seconds
forming
each.
a box in your mind.
Exactly.
Is what you're saying. So you're breathing
Yeah.
in 4, holding it for 4, breathe out
for
4.
Do you want to try it right now?
Yeah.
Let's give it a try.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Okay.
Okay, so I will count and you all do the breath.
Is
Okay.
this something that we should be closing our eyes for?
You don't have to. You can do it in your daily. I do it when I'm driving. That's when I tend to get agitated.
That's right.
I've taught my 8-year-old, so when she's really angry or
yeah.
frustrated and about to start screaming, we stop and we do, well, she calls it triangle breathing because she doesn't like to wait in between.
Oh.
And so we do breathing exercises. So we're going to go in for 4. Ready?
Okay.
In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. And then if you want to continue, you just hold for 4 seconds before you breathe in. You can start to panic, so you have to kind of get into the flow of
It's
it.
kind of interesting that it actually forces you
Right.
to breathe in much deeper than what I normally am used to.
And to fully release your breath too. Because a lot of times we think we're doing deep breathing, but really just kind of holding back. And what we're doing when we do that is get our bodies more anxious, right?
I almost found like this openness in my chest too that just occurred.
Yeah.
Like, wow, okay, there's
Yeah.
something to that.
Yeah, because that breath work, it's slowing us down. Like I said, it's giving our brains these signals, right? We're safe, we can calm down. And then our brains kind of release the neurotransmitters that help us to relax. So a lot of times you'll feel your chest open.
Yes.
You'll feel your shoulders relax.
Wow. Yeah.
Breath work, like the most basic thing we do,
I think
right?
it's something we could even do at the sewing machine.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know, when I'm doing that, and I can just tell myself, and I'm now becoming more present with myself,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Is that kind of
That's
the goal?
exactly what you're
is to
doing.
become more present?
Yeah, to be more present in your body, to kind of engage your body and your brain to make that connection so one doesn't run away without the other. Yeah, so when you're sitting there at your sewing machine and you're about to reach for that seam ripper, like
Breathe,
breathe,
Kris. Just
breathe
breathe through
first.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
excellent. Excellent idea. Wow. What do you think?
I love breathing exercises.
Yeah.
I learned to do that and I felt so powerful. That's one thing I could control. I loved it. I had
That's
to
an
get
interesting
the
take.
balloon up there and have it float and not dip down. It was, I was on a high for months.
Wow.
Yeah, it was cool.
And again, just being more present. I would love to hear in the comments what your thoughts are. So whatever came to your mind while you were watching that segment, just type it in real quick, because I think those little aha moments we definitely want to capture right when they happen, right?
Yes.
And we'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts about what Melissa shared? Now, that's only the first part. We had the best interview with her. I think one of the best interviews I've ever had with a person, because everything she said was so relevant from a mental health standpoint to a quilting standpoint. And because she brings those two worlds together, she's got some really good information to share with us all throughout the week. So please, 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 write in your comments, just type up something really quick so that everyone can learn from each other. We would love that. All right, my friends. Well, we hope that that's something kind of a little bit different for us to share on 30 Themes at 3. But again, it's about you and it's about our mental and physical health. And I hope, tomorrow we're going to focus more on Melissa.
Oh, good.
We also have a physical therapist coming to join us tomorrow.
I'm so glad I'm not going to be here.
Yeah, he's going to have me doing jumping jacks and all the things. No. I think I can't wait for him to share with us some things that we can do as quilters when we're sitting at the sewing machine, because our shoulders, our neck, our posture, all the things are sometimes get a little tricky, right?
Oh, yeah. And if you bend over like this, you can't take a full breath.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's all for theme number 1. Now Kyle and I are going to head over for theme number 2. We've got a super fun project for you. I'm really excited about today, because this week we're also talking about mindful sewing and mindless sewing. And there actually is a difference, and it blows me away when I think about it in talking to Melissa, and there's a place and a purpose for both. So I'll give you a little teaser here. When we head over there, we're going to do something with crumbs. Crumb, and I'm not talking about food. Crumb quilting. Now, some of you who've been with me for a few years now, you're going to be like, peace, I'm out. Peace out.
No.
This is a little bit different, and
This was fun.
I think you're going to enjoy it. So we're going to head over there, and while we do so, let's go ahead and check out what you may have missed last week on 3 Themes at 3. Last week on 3 Themes at 3, we were inspired by Christmas cookies from Grace Gaylord, aka the Graceful Baker.
Those cookies are really so amazing. They are so detailed and beautiful. I think I would just eat them before I was done.
Oh, absolutely. I'm right there with you on that one. And after watching all of her videos, we were then inspired to make an apron from tea towels, a gingerbread man pillow, an Ice Spice snow globe, and an ugly sweater quilt block. And we finished strong with our own ugly Christmas sweater fashion show.
That is something you definitely do not want to miss. Be sure to catch 3 at 3 live every Monday through Thursday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time.
Hey, good money, sir.
Or watch it on demand on Facebook or YouTube by clicking the link below.
Come learn and have some fun with us on 3 Themes at 3, where we always have something to make you smile, something to learn, and something to discover. Let's go. All right, friends, that was a fun week.
Oh, yeah. I enjoyed it.
You know, someone said to me on YouTube, they said, "You're a little too early. We haven't even celebrated Halloween yet." I'm
know.
like, yes, I know. But you got to get ready.
Yeah.
Especially as creatives, you've got to get ready for those
If you're gonna
holidays,
start
right?
sewing the 15 pajama pants or whatever.
Exactly. Start now. All right, friends. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at what I mean by crumb quilting. I had to laugh because I saw in the comments Dee said, "Trigger warning, Kris," because I remember her from a few years ago when she was like, "I am not doing this crumb quilting thing," but I promise Dee and everyone else watching, this one is a lot more fun.
I learned it.
And you did a great job.
It was fun.
And also, we have this for both sewers and machine embroiderers. So, all right, if you're just joining us, I'm Kris. This is Kyle from My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop, and we're going to talk about crumb applique quilting today.
Yes.
All right, so what exactly do we mean by that? Well, let's take a look down here at some of the projects that Kyle and I have been working on. All right, so for example, here are a couple of different applique shapes, right?
Cute.
And this was done in a crumb method. Now, what do we mean by crumbs?
Little pieces.
Little pieces, and we know you've got them, right?
Yeah.
We all have all those little pieces, that stash that you're just like, oh, what can I do with all this? And I hate to give it away. I hate to throw it away. And so this is going to be a super duper cool project for you to get rid of that. All right, let's take a look at some tea towels that I put together.
Really cute.
Here we go. This is, again, using the crumb quilting applique method.
How many different fabrics have you got in
There
there?
are so many, but, well, I don't know, maybe like 6 or 7.
Just repeated?
But just repeated over and over again.
Cute.
And it just makes such a fun collage-looking project, right? So you can see, and the nice thing is, it's mindless. You really don't have to think about it. So if you're in the mode for just doing something that is,
Ooh, that's beautiful.
that's the Star of David, something that doesn't take any thought. So what would be mindless would be something like this, and I'll show you why. But this is when you can put on a good TV show or listen to an audiobook or something, and you're not really having to focus on the project, but you're hearing the hum of the machine. And then this one is the dreidel that I thought would be perfect for those who celebrate Hanukkah. So how is this done? Well, typically, when it comes to crumb quilting, and the way I taught it years ago, was you would take all your little tiny scraps and you would actually sew them together.
Oh, no, I'm out.
That's what a lot of people would say, like, no way, I'm
Those
not
little
doing that.
No,
Oh, yeah,
I'm out.
because it's mindless. You just keep sewing and just
That is
keep
not
sewing.
mindless.
I know. It doesn't feel like it, right?
No.
But it really is.
Oh,
like you
okay.
just, there's no rhyme or reason. You just
Okay.
keep adding the crumbs.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
But with this method today, it's totally different.
I love this one.
We're going to show you how it's done. Kyle, why don't you start off by showing us how to do it, the sewing method, and
Okay.
then I'll take over on machine embroidery.
All right, that sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, so Kris said to me, we're going to do crumb quilting. I'm like, what? What in the world? I'd never heard of it either. So I did a gingerbread just like
Yep.
she did. And this is, we have instructions too. But
Yeah, we do.
I copied off your gingerbread.
Mm-hmm,
And then I went and I put it onto some heat and bond. Okay, I traced it onto the paper side. Okay, so then I just put it on a piece of fabric. I couldn't find my towels.
Oh, that's okay.
So I put it on that.
Essentially, you are creating your own new fabric here.
Right, right. And I could have put it on a sweatshirt,
Mm-hmm.
anything that I wanted. And so I've got this outline, so it gives me a guide, but I use water-soluble stabilizer.
And it worked.
This is a topping, right?
Yes, that one is a topping.
It worked
But
great.
It did work great, yeah.
So I've put down my heat and bond with my paper side up.
Just to show the template.
Yes.
That's all. We're not pressing anything
no,
yet.
no. And then I took and I cut almost squares. Kris said, you just did them all exact, kind of, because it was easier. And all I'm doing is I've taken 6 or 8 different colors, and I'm just making sure that I cover up every part of that gingerbread outline.
Exactly.
You see that?
Yep. So fun.
And I have to tell you a secret.
easy.
I had one where I had a hole in it when
Yeah.
I looked at it. All I did was add another one.
Exactly. You can
That's
do
all
that.
I had to do.
Yep.
Yep. And I'm just making sure I cover all that.
Okay.
Doesn't matter where, what's on top, all the things. So I'm covering him completely up. Okay, I'm just going to place those there real fast.
Okay. See how mindless this is,
Yeah,
Kyle?
it is. It is. Except I had to concentrate when I first did it.
There's no right or wrong way to do this.
Exactly.
I say you throw caution to the wind.
Kris. Oh my
You
goodness.
just overlap them, just
Yeah.
making sure that baby's
See,
covered.
if I've got that and I started quilting it,
Yeah.
all I have to do is add another one on top of it.
Okay.
Now
So
you
what
have
do we
your
do
second,
here?
your second piece of
Wash away.
wash away. Put that on there, and then all I'm going to do is slip my heat and bond out of there,
Yep.
and I'm going to take this right over to the machine, and I would just quilt the heck out of that.
That's right. I
All
like
the
that
different
you
ways.
said, I'm going to quilt the heck out
The
of it.
heck out of it.
Yes. I
All
love
different
it.
ways. All
And,
different ways.
and you did just straight lines
I
on
did
yours.
straight lines.
And
Yep.
that worked out great.
It did. It did.
It's so cute.
It's darling. I really liked it.
So you just went every which way.
Every which way.
Didn't
I just
have to
made
think
sure
about
I
it.
caught the fabrics down. I didn't have to
Yeah.
make sure it was all completely caught
Yeah,
down.
you just want dense quilting,
Dense.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Then what? So you're left with this
I got this
piece of
outline.
nail
It's not even an
fabric.
outline.
No.
All I'm doing is then I will come back to my my sink or whatever.
Yep.
And I'm going to wash away all the stabilizer because these are all sewn together at this point.
Exactly.
They're all a piece of fabric. So we'll wash that all off, dry it, and I
It has to be fully dry.
Yep, almost.
And then
And then I take it back, and I am going to take my traced
heat and bond.
shape, heat and bond, and I'm going to put it onto the back of my fabric. I'm not putting it on the top. I'm putting it underneath on the back of it.
I love
so
it.
when these are all sewn together, it's going to go like this with the heat and bond side on the back. Okay, and I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to cut it out. So,
Yeah,
so
Tammy
simple.
asked, could you use decorative stitches? Absolutely. That would be
Yes.
so cute. It
Yeah.
really would. And it just all washes away. It just rinses away.
It does,
So,
really easy.
let it dry. And
Didn't take
on
long to
these
dry.
two, these actually, front and back, I kept it the way it was without adding it to the thing,
So you
right?
can do this as sun catchers.
You can do them as sun catchers. So if these were held up to the light, you would have the
can
light
kinda see
shining
through 'em.
through, and it's kind of fun. And again, it's just so simple. So let me show you what's even easier is by doing it on the embroidery machine. So what we did here is, this is a 5x7 hoop. Now I've digitized this to be 5x7 and 6x10. So you've got
nice.
2 options here.
Nice.
2 sizes. And let's take a look down here. If you're going to add it to a project, such as a tea towel, for example, then I recommend using a wash away sticky back, all right?
Okay.
And then I'm just using this as my background piece for now. And then I'm going to have Kyle, we're going to work on a star. So go
Okay.
ahead and stitch out the outline.
Oh, this does the outline first.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
So the outline,
don't
and
have to
then you know
guess.
exactly, you know exactly where to place your fabrics. Okay, oh yes, Heidi said tree ornaments. They
Yes.
would be cute as tree
Yes.
ornaments, absolutely.
Or tied on a package.
Tied on a package would
I'm
be
into the
darling,
gifting.
right? Oh. The embroidery part needs to be plugged in the back.
I forgot that part.
That's okay. Good thing
Smart
is it
machine.
worked out just great. All right, let's pull that out and show them what we mean here.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so you can see here that the star has been stitched out. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's in black thread. And now I know exactly where to go. So now with these scraps, okay, Kyle, are you ready for this? Mm-hmm. All I'm doing is I am
go through my
really
garbage can.
exactly. This is what I'm doing, my friend. This is what I call mindless.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
So when you had cut these perfect squares, I'm like, really, Kyle?
Oh yeah.
But you absolutely can do that. There's nothing wrong with it.
I wanted to be an overachiever.
There you go. Exactly. And then now, go ahead and here, you help me do this. We're just gonna throw these on. Just making sure that you've covered the entire outline. Look how easy this is.
And you can layer them on top of each other.
Yep.
If you got
You
one
just
color
want
that's way
some
too much.
overlap. Yep.
Oh, how fun. Got a
It really is.
big one.
Okay, there we go. Maybe little one here. Okay, so we're just basically making a collage. Okay. All right, I think we've got it all, Kyle. Do you
I think
see
we've
any
covered it.
black there?
Nope, I don't see anything. I was going to put a brown one on, throw you off, but I didn't.
There you go. Oh, we didn't get, let's get another flower in there
Oh, yeah.
somewhere. Okay, so that's all you do there. It's completely covered. Fern says her brain is having a meltdown.
I bet.
And then all you have to do is you take your piece of wash away stabilizer and just place it over top, just like that.
So both of them are wash away.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay.
But now this one was sticky back because I wanted my towel or whatever to cover over top of it. Now when it goes back to the embroidery machine, it's going to stitch all the way down into a quilting motif. So let's go ahead. You know what? For the purposes of just making it easy, we'll keep it in black.
Okay.
I wouldn't normally have it in black
that way
on
they
this
can
one.
see it.
I would do it in yellow, but I want you to be able to see the stitching on this.
Okay.
So again, so simple to do.
And you put this on the top so you don't get your foot underneath any fabrics, right?
Correct. Let's see. Donna asked, are all of your shapes symmetrical? Unless I'm confused, you covered the heat and bond with fabric on one side and then flipped it over to the other side. Oh, Donna, the only reason why Kyle had the heat and bond in the first place at the beginning was to see the template. That was it.
I wanted to make sure I
So-
covered it all.
Yes, exactly. So let's keep watching that.
Okay. Well, I'm sure glad I don't have to do this freehand.
Right?
That's just
Not
tiny.
meant by this is going to be
Tiny.
so much easier.
Yeah.
So while that's stitching out, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other projects that I've been working on
You've
for
been
all of
busy.
you. Yeah, it's been a little busy for sure. I had a busy sewing weekend.
It's good and bad.
Yeah. Oh, it was so much fun. So this is what you can look forward to. While that's stitching out, I want to show you some of the things. So there has been
That's beautiful.
questions about Christmas Club, and in Christmas Club we had the Merry and Bright pillow.
Yes, I love
Well, our friends who celebrate Hanukkah really were hoping for something that had a Hanukkah theme. So I've got you. So here I created a new pillow, and this is something that will be a part of Christmas Club. But you know, even for those who don't celebrate Hanukkah, you might have a friend who
Yes.
celebrates Hanukkah. Wouldn't that be a
Yes.
beautiful gift to give them?
This embroidery, this
Or somebody who
stitching.
celebrates Hanukkah but doesn't celebrate Christmas, they can make something Christmas to give to their friend who celebrates
Right,
Christmas.
right.
So there's room for all of it, right? Now, yeah, let's get an up close look at this, because this is background quilting right here from Kimberbell Designs.
Oh, really?
Isn't that gorgeous?
And also in your outer border.
Yeah, my outer border I
Wow.
also did with the Star of David.
Nice.
So anyway, kind of fun. These ones I did just on my own embroidery machine. However, I think next time if I were to do this again, I would just use like the overall designs from Kimberbell for Hanukkah, which are beautiful. And then you can see here, I did a top stitch with gold metallic thread.
I love that.
Okay, so there's that one. I also have, I'm not finished with the sample yet, but I also have a snowflake one. So
I
if you
can't
want
wait.
something for winter, there's like several snowflakes there. All
Nice.
right. Now another thing I worked on was the star for Christmas Club is been paper pieced, but I know that
that's
many
cool.
of you don't want to do paper piecing, so I also created them on the embroidery machine as well.
Wow.
So you could do this as little ornaments. And let's pull that out so they
Okay.
can see. Little ornaments, mug rugs, trivets, you know, so there's 3 different sizes for those of you. Some of you may choose to do both. Maybe you like to do the paper piecing and you also like to do the machine embroidery. So this will be for that as well. Let's bring this up to the camera real quick while we do this. You can see here that this has all stitched out. And so the next thing that's going to happen is that it's going to do a outline stitch right here all the way around the star. And that will show us where to trim our fabric.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and do that. And while Kyle puts that back in, I'll show you a couple more things I worked on. And that is, for those of you who were with us last Friday, we did the sweater block, the ugly sweater, and that was done on the sewing machine only. Well, I had a little more time this weekend, so I've got it for the embroidery machine. Probably this will go up probably tomorrow. I still just need to write the directions, but this is for the embroidery machine.
Those are really cute.
And this one's for the embroidery machine as well. So if you've been looking for the ugly sweater block to be for the embroidery machine, you could do that. And even the creating the textured fabric like we did not on Friday, on Thursday of last week, you could still do the machine embroidery applique with the textured fabric, and it would be super fun. So both of those will be included as well. So yeah, it's been kind of busy. All right, friends, let's take a look at the star has now been stitched out. And I'll just do a quick cutting of this so that you can see what's happening here.
It's just like regular embroidery.
Exactly, there is nothing different. We are going to treat this just like an embroidery applique, because look, all that fabric that's, you know, sticking out from the edges, you're just going to
This will help
do this.
Fern be able to get her brain back in.
Fern, can you do that for us? All right. See, it is not anything different here.
And that's the same background quilting you did on the other ones, right? You
Yeah,
just did it
so
black.
it's a very dense quilting design.
Because you want it dense.
Yeah, because I wanted it to really touch everything, every piece of scrap that's on there. And then the really fun thing about this project is it just washes away. Okay, so the last thing that it would do, and we won't take the time to do it today, but if we were to put this back into the machine, it's going to do a satin stitch all the way around.
Right.
Is that right? Yeah,
Yep.
you can see that on the machine. So let's see, there we go. So it would do a satin stitch all the way around, it would do a top stitch, and then after that, you just rinse this away and you have a brand new piece of fabric. So
Nice.
one more time.
Because then
I'll
you'll see the
show.
fabric.
Then
right
you'll
now.
see the fabric, because right now you don't really see it.
No.
But this does wash away, and this is what it actually looks like, but the quilting was done in yellow, right?
Nice.
So that would be, darling, it would be cute as a garland. It'd be great on
that's a
a
good
tree.
idea.
You know, and here's another one. So you can do them all by themselves, or just as a reminder, you can do it on a tea towel, on a shirt. I mean, you could do all kinds of things with this. So we'll just kind of set this out, and that's it. Are there any questions? All right, so Tammy asked, if you were doing an ornament, what base stabilizer would you use? The same one? Yes. Great question, Tammy. I'm glad you asked. You
These
would
are pretty
use
stiff.
the wash away stabilizer. Yeah, I used the wash away on both sides. So it worked out pretty good. And these are pretty stiff. You just, you know, you wash it away enough that it disappears, but there's still some glue in here. So yeah. All right, so there you have it, my friends. If you are interested in those patterns, you can find them on our website at mygirlfriendsquiltshop.com. We have the sewing version, which is on sale today, and we also have the machine embroidery version, which is also on sale. Both of them come in 2 sizes. Can you grab that pattern for me, please? You can see here, on the sewing version. Let's take a look down here. You again can see step by step of how it's done, but also I have a large and a small, a large and a small.
Oh, wow.
So you've got all the different sizes here, okay?
And that's for
That's
the
for sewing.
embroidery? Oh, sewing.
That one's the sewing, and then
Okay.
this one is machine embroidery version. So,
nice.
and they are sold separately, okay? And then it just tells you the steps here. So anyway, you can find those on our website. You can also find wash away stabilizer on our website, which
Good
is a
job.
big deal.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
So,
And these don't take any time at all.
oh no, and it's mindless.
It is.
Sometimes you just want to hear the hum of the sewing machine, and you just don't want to think about it. So
Yeah.
you just
I have to
just do
turn
that.
everything off on some stuff I do.
Right.
Because I'm like, I have to concentrate. But this I can have background.
Exactly. You don't have to think about it. So I'd love to see what you guys come up with. Make sure and share our pictures. This one is not found in the club, Dan. No, but it actually is, I think it's like $4.99 for the machine embroidery version.
Oh,
you get
get out.
12 designs.
Get out.
Yeah, because there's 6 designs in 2 sizes. So there you go. And I think the sewing version is $3.99. So it's super, super cheap.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
all right, you can find those at mygirlfriendsquiltshop.com. All right, friends, well, that is all for theme number 2. We hope
Thank you.
were inspired.
Thank you for teaching me something new.
You're welcome.
I've learned 2 really different techniques in the last couple weeks. So I'm very happy.
It's awesome. Love it. All right, let's head over for theme number 3. Definitely don't want to miss this. We're going to be talking and wrapping things up with talking about positive affirmations. So please join us for that as we focus on the mental and physical well-being of you quilters, of us quilters, I should say. All of us, we're in it together. And as we do so, let's go ahead and check out another video that we have on, I don't remember,
Oh,
something.
dear. It'll be interesting.
It'll be so good. All right, here we go. Okay, Kyle, as we end with theme number 3 today, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
All right, and I've got a question for all of you as well at home. If you were going to categorize all the thoughts that you had in your mind on a daily basis, would they be more compassionate or would they be more critical? Questions.
I've really worked at this lately.
Yes, you
Really
have.
lately. I've started exercising. I'm going to counseling. I found some drugs that are wonderful. So I'm doing all the things because I did not realize how angry I was. And woof, my daughter goes, "Mom, you've got to do something." And it's been life-changing.
Wow.
Life-changing.
That's pretty cool, because I think most of us have this constant stream of thoughts, always, from sunrise to sundown, and how we're thinking about ourselves and how we view the world. And it does affect our actions. It affects how we think, how we feel, how we treat others. It affects everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And so one of the things that, I talked about with Melissa Mason, in our interview was about, positive affirmations. Is it a hoax? Is it something that's like crazy to think about? Is it silly to think about positive
No.
affirmations?
No.
What can a positive affirmation do for us?
I did this a year or so ago, and I put 5 things up on my mirror of what I needed to say to myself, because all day long I was saying, "You're so dumb, you're so ugly, nobody thinks you're very smart," and I had to change that wording to myself.
Yeah.
And yeah, menopause doesn't help.
So true. And so here's a few positive affirmations that we'll share up on the screen, but we'd like for you to think of even more. I'm a good friend, I am fun, I care about people, I'm strong, I'm kind, I'm smart. But I think that the best affirmations that work for us are the ones that are more personal and meaningful. So what I like to think about, Kyle, is if I'm trying to think of how I want to be, or those affirmations that I want to give to myself, I think about someone in my life who has made an impact on me. And if I believe that that person is, a generous person, then that's how I want to view myself, as a generous person. Like, I admire that quality in this person, and I too can be a generous person.
Yeah.
So when I say that to myself, because I'm reminded of someone else that I admire, it actually makes it more meaningful to me. Do you agree with that?
I do. And to be a generous person doesn't mean you give everything away.
No.
What does that mean to you?
I think it means generous with your time, with your energy. You're generous with people. When you're with them, you're listening to them.
Absolutely.
It goes way beyond
Yeah.
money. When you're with them, you're present with them. And so I think if we can make it more meaningful, it becomes more powerful.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's one of the first things we learn about that. I think you have to develop a practice for it.
Yes.
That, you know, again, at the beginning, did you feel kind of silly?
Yes.
Telling yourself these things in the
Yes, because
mirror?
I didn't believe them.
You didn't believe them.
I knew I had those qualities, but I didn't believe them.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, how do you think you overcame that?
Just repeating it every day. And I did it in the mirror so I could see myself and see myself saying it. I'm talking to myself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when you can get into that rhythm of saying those things, it becomes more than just a mantra, but it becomes a way of life, because actually the things that you tell yourself, you will believe once you start acting upon those things.
Then you get what you give.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's so true. So I love, Janet said, you make me want to be more generous. Oh, well,
Exactly. That's
I
what
will
this is
say
about.
Janet is a very generous person, and Janet's someone that I've met over last couple years at Tug, and she's very generous. When I talk to her, she's giving and she listens, and she's
engaged with you.
Totally, completely engaged. She's an
Nice.
amazing person. So I think that it's easier if you think about those things, if you think about how you want to become more of that, and if you constantly share that, then it's easier for your actions to reflect that.
Well, then they want to be around you too.
Exactly. That's
If I'm a
exactly
bummer
right.
all day long, who wants to be around me?
Not me.
I know. That's where we were at.
No, not true. I love you so much, girlfriend. Love this lady. But I think we have to demote the inner critic in us. We have to say enough
Absolutely.
is enough.
Yeah.
And just tell ourselves, no, that's not the way we want to be. I'm going to choose to be happy. I'm going to choose to change my mindset.
And sometimes you can't just do it with the mindset. The counseling
Yep.
has been
Yep.
wonderful. I
Yep.
love counseling.
Yep.
And medication. Finding the right balance.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's needed. I was a firm believer of no medication for a lot of years, but thank heavens, I can still have some friends now.
I love that you're willing to be vulnerable and
Oh,
share that.
yeah.
You know, instead of saying like, I am a supportive friend, and then you say, oh, well, I'm going to think of all, my inner critic's going to say, well, you weren't a supportive friend when this happened. You weren't a supportive friend when that happened. You need to shut that down.
Yep,
And say,
absolutely.
you know what? That was in the past, and I can be different now.
Yep.
You turn your thoughts into actions, and I just think that we can tell ourselves, I'm going to choose to be happy. I'm going to choose to enjoy what I do. I'm going to choose to enjoy the process of what I'm working on. I'm going to choose not to fixate on the mistake I made in that sewing project, right? Okay, this is something I have to tell Kyle
Yes.
all the time. Stop it.
Yeah, stop
right?
showing them.
Stop showing them, because most people won't even see it.
No.
Right? And if they do, that's their problem.
Exactly. I did it.
You
I
did
tried it. I
Yep.
tried it.
And I think at the end of the day, I like to say, when I lie down at the end of the day, everything is the way it should be. Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah,
That's a big one.
that is really big.
Everything is the way it should be. I don't know. There's a lot of food for thought there. I'd love to hear your comments and let us know, because this is a community we're building, and we're all about helping each other in more ways than one. So please share your thoughts in the comments. Share your experiences. What are the positive affirmations you tell yourself? What are the things you hope to be better at, or what you want to be? Who are the people you admire? And what's the quality that draws you to them? We want to hear about it in the comments, and let's help each other.
Because it will help us also.
Absolutely.
We're all building ourselves too.
Exactly.
And we're not always happy every minute, are
Oh,
we?
no. You know what? But we have to know when it's time to take a break. Friday, I needed to take a break, didn't I?
Good job. I'm proud
And
of
I
you.
said, for my mental health, I've got to take this break today.
Proud of you.
And I was able to do that. And so
job.
you surround yourself around good people who understand and support you in that. So that's just the message we want to share with you. I hope you will join us every day this week, and please share this message with your friends, because it's an important one as we talk about the mental and physical health of the quilter, and we want you to be a part of all of it. And let's continue the discussion. That's what's important. And I also would like to let you know that all this week you can download for free something that we put together, which is a mental health journal. A mental health journal. So all the things that we're going to be discussing about this week have been compiled together for you. And again, it is a free download you can find on our website.
That's cool.
All right. So be sure and get that. All right. Well, it's been really great being with
Really
you,
good.
my friend. I just love you. You know that.
I love you.
And we appreciate so many of you for joining us each and every day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. We're going to wrap things up. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep doing the things that you love. Keep doing the things that bring you joy. And we hope to see you again real soon. Bye-bye.